Halonix Technologies Private Limited is one of the first movers when it comes to offering energy-efficient lighting solutions with Made in India, Made for India products. Having keen focus on innovation since 2018, the brand set its foot forward in making new age technology available for every Indian. The company boasts of its state-of-the-art manufacturing facility, backed by a dedicated R&D team, coupled with a fully equipped laboratory that tests and develops products which are tailor-made for India. No wonder the brand today is widely accepted across the country. To know more on the way forward, let's welcome Mr. Rakesh Zutshi, the company's Managing Director. What are the core competencies of Halonix?
Halonix has three distinct stages of development. These stages can be classified into largest manufacturing base, then competency in designing for India, what we call make for India, made in India, and now is innovation. Innovation as a platform we have focused on 2018 onwards, and this comes from the fact that we understand LED is far different. What it allows us to do kind of adds value to what we can do. LED being a semiconductor, which was not possible, let's say, with an electric bulb, the Edison bulb, which used to carry weight for almost 100 years after invention, and then CFLs roughly about 30 years. They did very well, but that was not possible to control, and if we had to control them, the system to control them was quite limited, and the output was not as satisfactory as we wanted it. But with LED, what we see is on the semiconductor side today that we can control it, we can modify it, we can play around with it. It allows for an immense amount of experimentation to happen and to deliver value to the consumer. When we talk about lighting, we essentially used to talk always about energy efficiency. You save money from incandescent to CFL to CFL to LED, but that's not the evolution of light. We know that light can be disinfectant. We know that light can change moods. We know that light in the right proportion can lift productivity. So once we look at the current possibilities, we know that we can kind of work at all these spheres, whether it is security, it is quality of life. LED allows us that, and I am happy to say that Halonix was one of the first companies which gagged onto it, and we have started our innovation onto the lighting from 2018 onwards. We have tried various products. Some of them have sent industry benchmarks like an inverter bulb. Some of them were ahead of their times, and we still have a very good response to them. But our journey has been trying to experiment, trying to find value, and at the same time differentiate and tell the consumer what all is possible. This journey is not short. It will take time because the consumer himself is not aware about how much light affects the consumer. So as and when we think that the consumer will start understanding the implication or understanding what all it can do, you will have a more discerning customer who would be willing to pay, but also will be willing to make intelligent choices in what meets his needs, what meets his criteria for lighting.
There was a concept like LED increases irritation in the human being.
Light or any product, if not used properly, can be both advantageous and disadvantageous. LED is a focused light source to the extent that if you look directly into the LED, then you will be blinded for maybe about 5-7 seconds once you lift your eyes away from it.
Exactly.
So it's a given. But at the same time, if you harness it properly, now when we talk of LED, we can actually work at different frequencies of lighting. We know that at a particular frequency below 350 it can be harmful, but it can at the same time be disinfectant. So the usage in hospitals or where you need a germ-free environment, it can be hugely effective. But at the same time, you also know that LED allows you to change its color, what we call human-centric lighting now. The sun in the morning is very bright and harsh white light. By the time it goes into afternoon, it is mellow, and it's almost oranges by the time it is sunset. And human being has been, we have evolved accordingly. So our moods, we may not even register it's happening, but That's what is actually happening. That you are interacting with the light, and once you interact with the light, you have your own productivity times and all that. There are morning people, there are evening people, there are night people. So to say that LED had certain disadvantages, no doubt it had. And even today, as a responsible lighting manufacturer, we have to be very careful about what the solutions are, and we wish that the unorganized sector does not make it commoditized to the extent that people don't even realize how it can harm. So we have to be a little bit more conscious. As we go forward, I'm sure that the governments and the companies will come together, find a solution which is both ecologically, environmentally, and then financially optimized.
How is sustainability associated with lighting solutions?
See, sustainability is that your footprint ecologically should be as minimal as possible. And the energy efficiency of LED does make it happen because you are using less electricity, and possibly that leads to less generation of, let's say, thermal power, that leads less consumption of coal, that leads less consumption of carbon dioxide. So it's a connected world. We can't say that one particular thing leads to the entirety on its own. But what LED does, because of the efficiency, your resource need is far lesser. And that actually kind of builds into, I think our Prime Minister also in the Paris COP meeting mentioned that we are giving LEDs. So it does make our carbon footprint lower, but at the same time, as I said, it brings a certain level of value, it brings a certain amount of benefit to the consumer of how his productivity can be enhanced, how we can work better, how we can live healthier. So it's I would say a virtuous cycle which has both biological, ecological, and as I said, financial implications. And where all the three come together to give benefit is the sustainable way of doing anything.
So where is Halonix placed when it comes to providing sustainability in lighting?
See, we were the first company, as I said, where we decided that we want to go into the innovation part and sustainability part. I will just give you that Halonix was one of the largest manufacturers of CFLs, and we were the first one in India to give up liquid mercury, which was used quite regularly in the CFLs. We went to the pellets, which kind of were used up during the process, and when the CFL would reach end life, there would be almost negligible solid contaminant left over. So it's been a philosophy, and right from, as I'm saying, I'm not doing it now, but as a company we have been doing it for a pretty long period of time. And even today our approach has been that we will conduct our products or rather the research in such a manner that we can give some direct benefit to the consumer, while at the same time minimizing the carbon footprint. So how the journey will evolve, we will see, but we have one of the dedicated NPD teams working all the time on innovation. We were one of the first NABL accredited labs which have the entire spectrum of self-approvals available. We have done that also, and that kind of feeds whatever we innovate, we test it, we validate it, and then we go to the market. It's a journey. Our understanding is there, but as soon as the consumer becomes a little bit more discerning and they can make the right choices of what kind of works for them, I think it will be an interesting journey going forward. We as a company and the consumer willing to work with the people who are doing innovation and benefiting both.
So what new do you have added in?
I can't, that would be not possible for me to divulge, but what we will see is that lot of integrated products will come in, where we have a speaker bulb today, where it gives, works as a light as well as a Bluetooth speaker. So we see this trend going forward. There are going to be lot of products where security, safety, and lighting needs will kind of coalesce, and that's the space that we are looking at. Yes.
You are also entering into architectural lighting.
Yes, we have a very interesting connected lighting solutions available now. So we will be kind of rolling it out big time. We were doing the back end R&D on that. We have already finalized the products now. So you will see us entering the architecture and high-end solutions for lighting pretty soon. We see ourselves evolving over the next 3 years in that particular segment.
Where does Halonix stand when it comes to offering smart light?
As I said, our innovation is to make smart and ecologically good products available to all starters. The idea is to make technology available to every single Indian, and it should be affordable, it should be useful, and the user interface, if we make it so easy, that's as good as a plaything for even people who are older. That's what the idea was for us to do the innovation. Our innovation is high-tech, but the user interface is not high-tech. We make technology easier for anybody to adapt. Smart is something which has been, with all due respect to Reliance, they have made data accessible to everybody today, and this is the evolution that will take India to the next level. We are also working on that part of it. Where you have data, if you have to have a Wi-Fi, how many Wi-Fis are there? It can't be that everybody can afford a Wi-Fi, but everybody is affording a smartphone today. It has data plans and all that. और जहाँ पे अब आपके पास data enablement है और एक product जो उसको react कर सकता है, जो उसके साथ interact कर सकता है, तो यही मेरे ख्याल में जर्नी जो नेक्स्ट 3 से 5 साल की है, यही जर्नी रहेगी जहाँ पे कंज्यूमर अपनी चॉइस, अपना एक मन बनाएगा कि मुझे ये चाहिए इसमें से, और उसको वो मिलेगा। जो पहले था मैं बनाता हूँ, आपको यही खरीदना है, अब हम ये कह रहे हैं कि लाइटिंग वो होगी कि आप ये तो खरीदेंगे मगर इसको अपनी पसंद में डालेंगे। सो यू कैन पर्सनलाइज, आपको जो चाहिए सॉल्यूशंस पर्सनलाइज हो जाएंगे।
You mean you are developing app-based solutions for?
We are already, हम पहली कंपनी होंगे जो हमने इंडिया में डेवलप करी है, जो अक्रॉस प्रोडक्ट सेगमेंट्स चलेगी। तो आप वो ये नहीं है कि हर चीज़ के लिए अलग अलग ऐप होगा, आप एक ऐप से हर कोई जो हम सेगमेंट्स कवर करेंगे। मैंने कहा ना, आगे की जर्नी थोड़ी सी इंटरेस्टिंग है हमारे लिए भी। आप देखेंगे कि अलग अलग प्रोडक्ट्स आएंगे, हम उनको एक ऐप से कंट्रोल करेंगे, और ये ऐप हमने इंडिया में ही डेवलप की है। इसका डेटा जो है वो इंडिया में ही रहेगा। तो ऐसा नहीं है जो आज के दिन मोस्ट ऑफ द IoT जो है वो चाइना से हम मॉड्यूल्स इंपोर्ट करते हैं, जहाँ पे डेटा का ट्रांसमिशन सारा कंट्री के बाहर जाता है। हम जो डेवलपमेंट कर रहे हैं वो आपका डेटा इंडिया में ही सुरक्षित रहेगा, आप बिना किसी डर के उसको यूज़ कर सकेंगे, ये सोच के कि कहीं बाहर किसके साथ वो शेयर हो रहा है, वो डर नहीं होगा। तो एक क्रेडिबिलिटी आती है और एक मैं कहूँगा एक कंफर्ट आता है उस प्रोडक्ट को यूज़ करने के लिए। हमने ऑलरेडी वाईफाई प्लग एक हमने बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग प्राइस पॉइंट पे फिर लाया है। अब इसमें आप बोलेंगे कि ये गिमिक है, गिमिक नहीं है। आप AC बंद करना भूल गए, AC का कंजम्पशन पावर का आपको भी पता है। ऑफिस में आपने निकल गए, भूल गए ऑफिस बाय, घर से आप ऑफ कर दीजिए। आपको रेट्रोफिटिंग नहीं करनी है, आपको वाईफाई AC नहीं खरीदना है, जो कि आपका वो 10,000 रुपया चार्ज करते हैं। अगर आप नॉन वाईफाई AC और वाईफाई AC में करते हैं, आप प्रोबेबली 350-400 रुपये में उसको स्मार्ट बना सकते हैं। तो मैंने कहा इंडिया की जर्नी दोनों होगी। आपको वाईफाई AC भी बिकेगा, वो भी एक सेगमेंट है, मगर एक सेगमेंट ऐसा भी है जो एक बेसिक लेके उसको स्मार्ट बनाएंगे। तो अभी जो हमारा विजन है वो हम हर किसी को स्मार्ट का ऑप्शन देंगे कि आप अपने आप को, अपने प्रोडक्ट्स को भी स्मार्ट बना सकते हैं। 3 से 5 साल में आप देखेंगे कि IoT एक बहुत बड़ा सिग्निफिकेंट पार्ट होगा। आज के दिन छोटा है मगर इसके इतने फ़ायदे हैं कि जैसे जैसे ये इवॉल्व होएगा, जैसे इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल बढ़ेंगी, जैसे इंडिया में अपने कंपोनेंट्स आएंगे, मॉड्यूल्स आएंगे, कॉस्ट कम होएगा। आज के दिन हम सबको पता है कि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स 95% ऑलमोस्ट चाइना से इंपोर्ट होता है, तो आपके पास जो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है बहुत कम है। मगर जो PLI हमारा स्कीम अभी आया है, 3 महीना पहले आया है, आई एक्सपेक्ट कि हमारे कंपोनेंट्स 2 साल के अंदर अंदर इंडिया में मिलना चालू हो जाएंगे।
When we have such a big market existing for LED especially, so why can't we have a LED chip manufacturing facility?
It needs global scale. If you look at it, it's not that Europe has a LED manufacturing company or US has a LED manufacturing company. These are actually quite limited, whether it's in China, Taiwan, a little bit of Korea. इसमें इन्वेस्टमेंट इतनी ज़्यादा है और जब इन्वेस्टमेंट ज़्यादा होती है उसको जस्टिफाई करने के लिए स्केल चाहिए। तो इंडिया में एलईडी हम बोलते बहुत बड़ा है, मगर फ्रॉम ए लाइट सोर्स पॉइंट हमारे यहाँ कितने मोबाइल बनते हैं? आप सिर्फ लाइटिंग को देखते हैं, एलईडी सिर्फ लाइटिंग के लिए नहीं लगती, आपका टीवी में भी लगता है, आपके मोबाइल्स में भी लगता है, अक्रॉस सेक्टर्स लगता है। तो जब तक वो इकोसिस्टम डेवलप नहीं होगा जहाँ पे टीवी, मोबाइल, लाइट वगैरह और एक डोमेस्टिक डिमांड जो सबको मिला के एक डोमेस्टिक डिमांड बने, तब तक इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल आ नहीं सकता। और अगर इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल नहीं आएगा, वो किसी के भी फायदे में नहीं है कि वो बनाना शुरू करे।
How has the center's initiative like Make in India helped Halonix grow when it comes to PLI?
See, PLI is phenomenal. It is the right way to go ahead, because for us to compete with established big players is very tough. You know, the industry out of China was very tough. But if a company like Halonix is also looking at backward integrating, I want to manufacture my own components now. So that is, I think, a step in the right direction, and it will help. यही जो इंडिया की स्ट्रेंथ है MSME रही है। हमने छोटे छोटे यहाँ पे बड़ी कंपनियाँ उतनी ज़्यादा नहीं थी, मगर अगर आप देखें, आवर इकोनॉमी हैज़ बीन ड्रिवन बाय द मिडल एंड द स्मॉल स्केल सेक्टर्स। सो इफ एवरीबडी स्टार्ट्स kind of a manufacturing the component level also, and there is an ecosystem development, you will see that India will be a major exporter.
And how long will it take?
At least export between 3 and 5 years. मैंने कहा 2 साल में आपका कंपोनेंट फ्लो करना शुरू होएगा इंडिया में, उसके बाद आप 1 साल में देखेंगे इंडिया will be competing with China in the electronic segment.
So by then we'll become Atmanirbhar, you mean?
We should, yes.
And what role Halonix would play in that?
We are already, as I said, we are the manufacturer. We
Backward
have never believed in
integration,
trading. We have the technology, we have the expertise. We can deliver, you know, global quality products from India if we are competitive. Today, what is happening that China is the source of electronics. I have to buy from China and then compete in global market. It's not worth doing it. You understand that, because he can directly go there and sell. So for me, that option is not there. The moment I have my own ecosystem of buying and maintaining cost, we can give them a good competition.
So we can expect a better tomorrow in 2024?
I think as an India, as a nation also, we should expect better. These have been difficult 2 years, and with COVID looking like a more of a endemic now rather than a pandemic, you will see that both lighting as well as the economy will do much better going forward, and 2024 would be I think a breakout year. Let's see. We can meet in 2 years time and discuss again.
Exactly, we look forward to it.
Sure.
Thank you
Thanks a
so
lot,
much, sir.
Thank you
for the time.
Bye bye.